Welcome to the Tesla Economist. Please hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Berlin was expected to open in July. Right now, this does not look likely. My guess would be more like October or November, which obviously is a shame, as a lot of the company is riding on Berlin. So much so that I think as soon as it opens, then it should add $100 value onto the stock price, whether the market realizes that or not. It's a massive milestone. Berlin is going to be a revolutionary new factory. Now, not just the factory opening, but when the actual cars start coming off the line, the stock should be worth an additional $100. Again, just my point of view, the market might not see it that way. But to witness cars with a structural battery pack, front and rear die casting, and 4680 batteries is a really big deal. It's a hell of an achievement. We just need to witness it can be done. From there, once we start seeing Berlin scale, perhaps to 10 or 20,000 units a month, again, I think it's worth another $100 on the stock price. It shows Tesla are already at a stage to produce a good level of 4680 batteries. Due to the high energy density of the 4680s and new structure, the cars will be lighter and thus require less batteries for the same performance. Although it may be less, let's go with 70 kilowatt hour batteries. At 20,000 units a month, then that's battery production at around 17 gigawatt hours a year already. And this is about what the Cato Road pilot plant should be close to doing already. I would expect them to achieve this level within the first few months or so of production. From there, I think the stock price should keep climbing every time they scale up Berlin production. Well, okay, perhaps not the stock price, as the market doesn't act rationally, but the true value of the company, as Tesla are demonstrating how quickly they're able to scale up their battery production. We've already seen how quickly they can scale up their auto production, so this will be a lot of new information for us. In addition to that, the rate at which they're scaling up might help us gather some idea of the actual capacity of Berlin, that Tesla has kept under wraps this entire time. Of course, it's likely they would just show us in a quarterly report. However, it's also possible they sandbagged the number 2, like they did for the Model 3 and Y in Shanghai. We're still waiting to see what level they scale to. Of course, whilst all this is happening in Berlin, around the same time, we should be seeing similar results in Texas. Texas is a much easier place to do business than Berlin, or even California for that matter. There'll be a lot less bureaucracy and red tape to get through. There's even a possibility it could open before Berlin. And again, if we see similar actions from Texas, with the cars coming off the line, with structural battery packs, and ramping up, then in my opinion, it adds as much value to the stock again. Now, I'm not saying this will literally add to the stock price. I'm saying it will be worth this much more. For example, the stock price should be worth over $1,000 easily when these two are doing some decent numbers, but it may only be sitting around $800. That's what's referred to as undervalued. Of course, there is something extra special to come out of Texas that Berlin doesn't offer: the coveted, polarizing Cybertruck. If we see these come off the line, then it's got to be worth another $200 on the stock price. Even if it's not until Q1 2022, the fact it happened is mind-blowing, and the speed at which they scale the production will add further to the stock price along the way. I think it'd be tough for anyone to keep the stock price down if these events occur, and it really should break through above $1,000. It could even go through another cycle and reach much higher, especially if Tesla is showing steady increases with the 4680 batteries. It's been so long since Battery Day, we kind of forget just how truly amazing they are, and obviously have yet to see them in action. Can you imagine the reviews of the Berlin Model Ys, with people saying just how well they handle? We have these batteries closer to the middle, improving the moment of inertia. In other words, making the car handle that much better. We have the structural battery pack to make the car that much more rigid, and then all the weight saving due to the structure and lighter batteries. And this is just comparing it to the current Model Y, which in itself was that much better than a traditional ICE SUV, due to the fact the weight was at the bottom of the car, creating a lower centre of gravity. Owners will rave about these cars. And something that's rarely talked about is the Model 3s that would come out of Texas too. Same deal, 4680 batteries, structural design, lighter weight. Can you imagine how well a Model 3 performance will handle? For example, there have been recent brake tests on a Model 3 performance versus an Audi RS3. The RS models of Audi are their high-end sport specification, and the RS3 is the smallest, lightest version. Yet the Model 3 performance still brakes in a shorter distance than the Audi, despite the Tesla weighing something like 700 pounds more. Now, just think how well it would brake when we save an additional 500 pounds of weight on the Model 3. I'm not sure if Tesla will use less batteries in the Model 3 performance, to give it equal specification from the 2170 version, or just take it to the next level again. They could quite easily make a version that does 0 to 60 under 3 seconds. Perhaps there'll be a Model 3 Performance Plus just for that, making it likely quicker than any top-range Ferrari that costs around 5 times the price. This is what disruption looks like. But remember, these factories are misleading in size. Yes, they are much larger than the Shanghai factories, but all the advances like front and rear castings, structural battery design, they improve production speed too. So although the physical capacity looks larger, the vehicles should be coming off the line that much quicker as well. Not to mention all the advances they've made in purpose-built facilities over the years. But we have this revolutionary new paint shop in Berlin too. Elon is being coy about what is so revolutionary about it. Presumably it would mean the car requires much less time in the paint shop as to speed up the production process and reduce bottlenecks. But in addition to that, what else might it be? Other rumours circulating are that it might be a scratch-proof paint, or a paint shop where you can order your car in any colour you so wish. Honestly, I never thought in my life there would come a day when I get excited about what an auto paint shop can do. I don't believe it's been mentioned, but you might think it likely that the paint shop is also being used in Texas too. Elon has also mentioned that there are lots of other experimental production techniques in Berlin. Perhaps Berlin is somewhat a test facility that may eventually be replicated in other factories. Even if they're both just 1 million units a year each, then they just tripled their capacity on paper. Tripled. 3 times as many cars, which is actually a total of 6 times as many cars as they delivered last year, in the space of a couple of years. These are the numbers, and the math is not that hard. That's why we can't let ourselves get too down when the stock price drops so much. None of that matters, as long as we at least decide to see it through. If any of you need money for retirement or a house or some capital item, it would be highly advisable to at least see this through first and hold off selling. Of course, I don't need to tell you that really, and this is just a minor part of what you want to see through. And it's not like this is the end of the road, it's merely the beginning. Tesla would have only reached similar production numbers to BMW at this stage, that's all. They haven't even started doing Toyota level numbers, and they haven't released their world-changing vehicle yet either, the Model 2. This is why so many of you keep saying hold until 2030, as we have so much left to come out of this company still, and that's only what we've been told in the last couple of years. What's going to be mentioned in the next couple of years is anyone's guess. But yes, we literally have flying cars on the table now that do 0 to 60 in 1.1 seconds. 1001, now you're going 60 miles an hour. 1001, that quickly. 1001. Can you simply imagine going that fast in such a short period of time? Yes, because that's right, we always hear about how outstanding all the Tesla engineers are. But don't forget, Elon has a whole other company of engineers at SpaceX that are literally rocket scientists. The competitors? Well, they don't have that. Just another of the 100 or so advantages Tesla have over all the competition. Anyway, we just have to be patient for now and slowly watch the progress. This is a company that requires extensive manufacturing. These things take a long time when compared to producing a cell phone or making a website, but at least there'll be no lack of excitement for us next year. Anyway, when these 2 factories are up and running, it will tell us a lot, and then give us more confidence in the energy business due to the battery potential. And of course, the stock price should be at a level that makes us all feel much better. Thanks for listening, please hit the thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.